KC Pier, we encourage basements as well as crawl spaces to have a dehumidifier. Even in cases where it may not be as needed, there's always times seasonally, especially during the wet seasons, the spring and the late fall, where dehumidifiers can really assist the air quality both in a crawl space and a basement. So we tend to be a little, we tend to overuse maybe the dehumidifier, but they can come extremely affordably. You can spend as much as you want with the dehumidifier, but you also don't need to overspend with the dehumidifier. It's just a matter of the options you want. So in a crawl space where most people don't want to go very often, we tend to recommend dehumidifiers that are more self-sufficient, that drain themselves, that don't need the monitoring, that have digital adjustments in them. And those would be for houses that definitely have a true need for a dehumidifier, where there's potential for mold and the potential of that type of growth getting into your air system and ultimately affecting the people above, especially if you have people with weakened immune systems, small kids or older parents. Then a quality dehumidifier is going to keep control of that environment, and it's going to kick on, the more expensive ones will kick on and manage the water and the humidity in that space at a point where you can set it and forget it. If you have a crawl space or a basement that doesn't show a lot of those tendencies, then you can go with just an off-the-shelf dehumidifier. You can set it and forget it as well, but you may have to empty a bucket, every once in a while, so it'll fill into the bucket and it'll turn itself off. But then once you empty the bucket, you can turn it back on. It'll turn itself back on and manage the basement or the crawl space from there. So we tend to be fans of them. In fact, with all of our installs of dehumidifiers, as well as sump pumps, we install our monitoring systems. It's a ship shape. It's a KC Pier ship shape monitoring system. We monitor water, we monitor humidity, and we monitor the power of the utility or the device, whether it's a sump pump or a humidifier, and we monitor that in-house. And so when those alarms, when they reach certain thresholds, whether there's too much water on the sensor, the humidity is too high, or the power continues to run, that gives us an idea that appliance might be getting overworked or getting to the point where it may be seeing the end of its life. We have an in-house monitoring system that ultimately will alert homeowners up to the point where we'll put a text message or an email alert saying that they may want to give us a call so we can come out and take a look at it. So we tend to use those appliances to help control the environment within the house, because we feel that environment needs to be controlled to help monitor the healthiness of the house in terms of specifically mold and controlling that environment well.